Hello guys, welcome back to Flashback Flicks. Get ready for a quick dive into today's movie recap. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Welcome to the vibrant world of Elemental. A vibrant world where fire, water, earth, and air collide. Join a cast of unique characters as they navigate their differences, forge unexpected friendships, and discover the power of unity. Get ready for an unforgettable adventure. The story opens with two fire elements, traveling across the ocean in a small boat. Carrying a precious blue flame lantern, they journey to start a new life. After a long, exhausting voyage, they finally arrive at Element City, a stunning metropolis where water, earth, air, and fire elements coexist. However, upon their arrival, they face immediate challenges. As the only fire elements in the immigration hall, they struggle to communicate with the wood immigration official. Their fire-ish language is misunderstood, and the official simplifies their names to Bernie and Cinder. After a brief registration, they step outside into the bustling city, but their excitement is short-lived as they encounter difficulties finding a place to live. At first, landlords from other elements reject them due to fears of fire hazards. After numerous rejections, they end up in a rundown neighborhood beneath the elevated train tracks. Here, finally, they find a dilapidated building for sale, and with renewed hope, Bernie dreams of turning it into a shop that would serve as a beacon of fire culture in this strange new city. Life continues, and they welcome their daughter, Ember, into the world. Bernie and Cinder pour their hopes into her, raising her with the values and traditions of their fire element heritage. Soon enough, Bernie and Cinder open up a shop called the Fireplace. Ember, as she grows, aspires to inherit the shop from her father. As time goes on, more fire people move into what becomes known as Fire Town, which is kept outside of Element City. As Ember grows further, we see her becoming more involved in the shop, eager to learn and help. Years pass, and Ember matures into a teenager, still determined to take over the shop. However, Bernie believes she isn't ready yet, especially because her temper continues to get the best of her. For instance, during a confrontation with a customer who insists on getting a free sparkler, the argument escalates until Ember's frustration explodes, literally, causing damage to the shop. Bernie explains that until she can control her temper, she won't be able to take over the business. One day, during a particularly stressful time, Bernie announces that he will let Ember run the shop by herself for the upcoming Red Dot sale, a huge responsibility that she eagerly accepts. However, as expected, the day turns chaotic quickly. Overwhelmed by demanding customers and the pressure to succeed, Ember loses her temper once more and retreats to the basement to cool down. If you're enjoying this recap, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Share your feedback in the comments to help us improve our content. Let's get back to the video. While in the basement, she vents her frustration, but her fiery outburst damages a pipe, causing a massive leak. Water sprays everywhere, threatening the entire shop. In a panic, Ember tries to repair the pipe, but it's too late. She's surprised when Wade, a water element and city inspector, emerges from the flooded basement. Wade, shocked but professional, assesses the situation and issues several citations, threatening to shut down the shop for code violations. Despite Ember's pleas, Wade abides by his job and heads off to send in the citations. Ember chases after him through the city, but she is unable to stop Wade when they reach City Hall. However, after hearing how much the store means to her father, Wade offers to help plead her case to the higher-ups. Wade brings Ember to Fern, an earth element who is in charge of sending the citations to get certified. While Ember tries to explain, Wade talks over her and gets too personal about how the shop needs to be saved for Bernie. Ember loses her temper again, causing another explosion, which doesn't help at all, and Fern tells her to expect the shop's closure in a matter of days. In an attempt to help, Wade offers another solution, by having Ember meet Gale, an air lady who is Wade's boss. He brings Ember to Cyclone Stadium, where a game of cloud ball is taking place, and Gale is a passionate fan. Initially, Ember and Gale get off to a rocky start since Gale's favorite team, the Windbreakers, is losing. However, everyone sees that star player Lutz isn't performing well. Wade then manages to start a chant among the audience to give Lutz a confidence boost, even creating a wave with the other water people. As a result, Lutz plays even better, and the Windbreakers win. After the game, Ember and Gale are on friendlier terms as Ember tries to explain the situation with her shop. However, after mentioning the leak, Gale finds it suspicious because water hasn't reached Firetown in years. Wade mentions inspecting a runoff of water outside the city limits before he got sucked into the basement of the fireplace. Intrigued, Gale tells Ember and Wade that if they can find the source of the leak, the shop will not be closed. Together, Ember and Wade find a hot air balloon that helps them fly over the city. While admiring the view, Ember becomes upset when she sees Garden Central Station. This is because it reminds her of when she was a child and wanted to see a Vivisteria flower, as it could bloom around any element, even fire. However, she and Bernie experienced racism from the other elements, who saw fire as destructive. As a result, the station flooded, and Ember never got to see the flower. Soon after, they spot the source of the water coming from a broken dam that stops the runoff from ships from making its way into Firetown. More water begins to spill out, so Ember and Wade quickly manage to block the leak by using sandbags. Later on, Ember and Wade begin to date in secret. Although there are some activities they cannot do because of Ember being a fire woman, Wade helps to find other things they can enjoy together. During their time together, Ember shares another story about how her parents had to leave their home, Fireland, after a storm destroyed their house. On the day they left, Bernie tried to give his father the blessed bow, the highest mark of respect among the fire people, but his father refused to return the bow, seeing his son's departure as a betrayal. Nevertheless, they keep a blue flame in their shop, a cultural symbol that the fire people believe brings them blessings. Despite their secret relationship, Ember tries to keep it from her parents, but Cinder eventually claims she can smell love on her daughter. Wade visits the shop but must pretend to be an inspector because Bernie hates water people. Unfortunately, he accidentally angers Bernie when he tries to water down some hot coal nuts that Bernie offers him. This leads Bernie to ban Wade from the store. Not long after, Wade returns to the dam and sees that the sandbags didn't hold. Ember arrives and comes up with a new idea. She uses the sand from the bags to create tempered glass with her flame, forming a strong enough barrier to stop the water from leaking. Later, Ember joins Wade for dinner with his family at his mother Brooke's home. Although it is awkward at first, the family warms up to her. They tell Ember that Wade has not stopped talking about her. Wade's uncle accidentally breaks a glass pitcher, but Ember impresses the ripples by putting it back together in a more beautiful design. Afterward, they play a crying game, where the goal is not to cry despite the emotions. Ember and Wade go up, and Wade gets Ember to tear up by giving her a heartwarming speech about his love for her. To their delight, they then get a call from Gale, who has seen the tempered glass and says the shop can stay. Ember and Wade celebrate. Before leaving, Brooke tells Ember about a potential job opportunity at a glass-blowing company. While intrigued, Ember feels conflicted because of her obligation to the family shop. One day, Wade surprises Ember by taking her to Garden Central Station. Gale is there, creating an air bubble so Ember can enter underwater. Wade then takes Ember underground, where she finally sees the Vivisteria flowers bloom around her. However, the air bubble starts to shrink, and Wade manages to swim out quickly with Ember. Despite the special moment, Ember hesitates to get close to Wade for fear of their elemental differences. Soon afterward, Wade encourages her to take things slowly, and they share a tender moment, managing to touch hands and create steam. They even dance together, but Ember's sense of family duty makes her run back to the shop. Wade follows, but Cinder catches them and pulls them into Ember's room for a smoke reading to see if their love is real. Wade manages to light the wick using Ember's flame, but before Cinder can complete the reading, Bernie arrives, and Wade has to leave. On the day of Bernie's intended retirement, he holds a celebration to announce Ember taking over the shop. Wade shows up to declare his love for Ember, but unfortunately, she remains firm in not disappointing her family. She tells Wade she doesn't love him, which leads to Cinder revealing that Ember indeed found love in their smoke readings. However, when Ember admits her temper caused the leak, Bernie unretires, stating his trust in Ember is broken. Heartbroken, Ember goes to be alone when she spots that the glass from the dam has broken, and a huge flood is heading toward Fire Town. As she goes to warn the other citizens to get to higher ground, Wade, who was preparing to leave Element City, sees the chaos unfold and rushes back to help. The flood reaches the shop, and Ember goes inside to protect the blue flame. Wade helps her save the flame just in time, but they end up trapped in a room where Ember's flame becomes too hot for Wade. Ember desperately tries to break through to save him, but he stops her, fearing for her safety. In a heartfelt moment, they hold each other close, and Wade evaporates. Heartbroken, Ember is rescued by Bernie and Cinder, grappling with guilt over lying to her parents and realizing her deep love for Wade. When she confesses to Bernie that she feels she has ruined his dream, he reassures her that the shop was never his dream, she always was. Suddenly, Ember hears what sounds like Wade crying, droplets dripping from the ceiling into a bucket. Encouraging her parents to say things that would make Wade cry, they manage to help him rematerialize. In a beautiful reunion, Ember and Wade share their first kiss. Months later, the shop is rebuilt, and although Bernie still retires, business is thriving. Claude has even befriended another little fire girl. As Ember and Wade prepare to leave for a new city, where Ember has accepted the internship at the glass company, Bernie, Cinder, and Brooke come to see them off. Before boarding the ship, Ember gives Bernie the blessed bow, a symbol of her love and legacy, which he returns to her, solidifying their bond and the new chapter ahead. If you enjoyed this recap, be sure to like, subscribe to Flashback Flicks, and click the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for joining us, and keep the adventure alive.